So that is how today ended up playing out. Again, outlier day. Regardless of how you did, understand that days like this are few and far between. So if you did well, fantastic. If you lost a little bit, still okay. If you lost a lot, that's a problem. That should never be an option. That's where your risk management rules need to kick in. And that's why it's good to have loss limits. So that one crazy unusual day doesn't end up wiping out, weeks worth of profits, which happens more often than I'd like to believe. Okay, so that's it for today. Now let's talk about what this could possibly mean going forward. So again, crazy day, outlier day. We've taken out multiple balance areas, this one being one of them, and then this one being the second balance area we took out. So, at this point we have taken out over a month of price action, over a month of effort, and upward movement has been wiped out in a single day. And the market now is pushing into this balance area. And within this balance area, we have the HVN of the balance at 65, 25.75 to 27.75. Usually after these kinds of days, the strategy becomes to sell the pops. Because even though there's been a lot of liquidation, we can either liquidate a little bit more and then start to balance, or come Sunday, we might get a really significant bounce and then we start to balance. But regardless, this big move is going to have a significant impact on our directional view going forward. So most likely our short-term bias on Sunday or Monday will be neutral bearish. The reason being is that the market is deeply, deeply oversold. And I don't know how much more is left in it. I think anyone who wanted to get out probably got out today. And it's questionable how much lower the market could go or may need to go to then start attracting responsive buyers. I think that if this had happened on a Monday, we would have probably already seen bounces and buyers starting to step back in. I think the fact that this happened on a Friday really accelerated and amplified the downside move. So heading into the upcoming week, our bigger picture bias will likely be neutral bullish because, on a much larger scale, we may still be okay. Our intermediate will most likely go to bearish, and our short term will most likely go to neutral bearish, simply because of the deep oversold condition, which can result in a decent intraday bounce. If we take a measurement of just swing high to swing low now, you can see that the 38% retracement is up at 66.44, right? So, that's almost, like 100 points higher. So this is going to create some challenges as we go into next week, because the resistance areas over here at the lower part of the range are bound to be aggressive from a trade location perspective. So I think that even though volatility is obviously spiked now, I think we should focus on preserving capital rather than being overly aggressive and overly active in this kind of market. The general strategy next week, unless there's, some crazy news-based rally or something, which I don't expect, but can we get a bounce? Can we get a 50 to 100 point bounce? Yeah, I mean that, like I showed you, would just be a 38% retracement. So that's the challenge right now, is that the volatility has expanded so much that, moving 40, 50, 80 points intraday would not affect this bearish pattern. The 61.8 is all the way up at 67.08 as an example. Now, if this is truly a more significant regime change in the market, then we should not go all the way back up there. But can we bounce to, 66, 24, 66, 44 to 54? Yeah, I mean, that is possible. And as far as the downside goes, I think that, we can start to attract buyers, perhaps even around the high volume node. But the significant support now is going to be the bottom of the prior balance area. So the challenge is that good trade location on the resistance side is going to be 100 points away, and good trade location on the long side is also about 100 points away. And in the middle, there can be a lot of back and forth. And that creates a situation where if you are good at timing and precision with your entries, and you know how to manage this type of volatility and play defense, there can be a lot of opportunity come Monday and Tuesday. But if you are not used to this level of volatility, and especially if you are using tighter stops or you're scalping, and I think that's going to be a tougher game next week. So I think there will be good opportunities for the traders who are either patient or very skilled in navigating intraday swings. And if those are kind of the two things that are really going to give edge next week, then you have to decide which camp you fall under. Either pick the patient camp and wait for good trade location, or make sure that you're in the skilled trader camp and can navigate this. And if not, then stay out, because you can lose a lot of money in this kind of market by just taking 5, 6 stabs and then looking back and wondering what happened. So that's going to be my perspective as we go into next week. And of course, I'll do my best to help prepare you guys for each session, but just from a higher level, understand that, these are probably the two groups who are going to make money next week. The patient traders, the selective ones, and the highly skilled traders who can read the market in real time very, very well. Pick one of those camps. The patient one is the easier one, by the way, right? Developing a ton of skill in reading the market real time and having the flexibility and the agility to adjust in real time to all of these things takes much more skill and expertise. That's a harder and more difficult group to be in. If you're in that group and you know it, then you can do fantastic next week. If you're not in that group, make sure you're in the patient and selective trader group. Otherwise, you will most likely lose money. So those are my thoughts as we head into overnight and next week. We'll close it off with that. I don't see any questions here, so we'll wrap up with that. Hope you guys did well today. Hopefully you capitalized. If not, at least you stayed out of trouble. And as always, we'll be back at it bright and early Monday morning. Take care and have a great weekend.